She felt the fingers dig into her throat before she even registered the faces around her. A circle of trainees watched, some smirking, some whispering, as her vision blurred at the edges. They thought she was weak. They thought she didn't belong. They thought choking her would break her spirit. But the moment her knees hit the ground, something inside her awakened, not rage, but a memory. A promise she made long before she stepped into SEAL training. Never let them define who you are. And the men hurting her, they had no idea who she really was. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Leah Hart, a quiet presence with steady eyes and a habit of listening before speaking. Most of the recruits barely noticed her. Those who did assumed she'd wash out by week 2. They didn't know she carried the last words of her brother, a SEAL who never made it home, like a flame in her chest. They didn't know the hours she trained alone, long after others slept. And they didn't know that beneath her calm exterior lived a storm waiting for the right moment to rise. When the grip around her neck finally loosened, she fell forward, coughing, air burning its way back into her lungs. The room murmured, a guilty shuffle of boots on concrete, a nervous laugh in the back, a few whispers too faint to make out. She looked up, eyes watering, throat throbbing, and saw the one who grabbed her, Dalton Ridge, the biggest, loudest, most insecure man in the barracks. He stared at her like she was prey. Leah didn't blink. She didn't even look away. She just stood slowly, brushing dust from her uniform as if nothing had happened. But inside, something shifted. A resolve, a path. That night, sleep didn't come. Her throat still ached, but her thoughts ached more. Was this who she wanted to become? Someone who endured but never spoke. Someone who rose but never defended. Herself. She remembered her brother lifting her chin once and saying, "Strength is silent until it must speak." She closed her eyes. She knew what she had to do. The next morning, training began before sunrise. Fog hung low over the obstacle field, the air cold enough to sting. Instructors shouted orders as trainees sprinted through mud, vaulted walls, and crawled under barbed wire. Leah stayed focused, moving with quiet precision. She wasn't the fastest. She wasn't the loudest. But today, she wasn't here to blend in. Dalton noticed, during the underwater endurance drill, a test that pushed recruits to the edge of blackout. He swam close, too close. He tried to block her, throw her off rhythm, a petty way to remind her of yesterday. But something changed when she dove the next time. She moved like a blade through water, slicing past him with effortless control. His confidence cracked. His eyes widened. By the time they reached the combatives' station, the whispers had spread through the ranks. People were watching, waiting, wondering. Leah stepped into the ring. Dalton stepped in after her. The crowd stilled. The instructor nodded. Dalton lunged first, but Leah didn't fight like someone defending herself. She fought like someone defending her right to exist. Her movements were sharp, deliberate. Every strike was a sentence, every block a truth. Dalton swung wildly, anger clouding judgment. Leah ducked, spun, and with a single precise motion, she brought him crashing to the ground. His breath exploded from his chest. Humiliated, defeated, stunned, the whispers around them shifted, no longer mocking but awestruck, a tide turning. Stillness hung in the air. A moment of moral tension followed. She could have struck him again. She could have repaid what he'd done. Part of the crowd even expected it, wanted it. But Leah stepped back instead, offering him her hand, not out of mercy, but out of strength. A reminder that power used with control is greater than power used with cruelty. He stared at her hand like it was a foreign object. Then, slowly, he took it. The murmuring broke into soft applause. Days later, when graduation came, Leah stood among the finalists, battered, tired, unbroken. She didn't smile when her name was called. She simply lifted her chin, steady and calm, because those who doubted her would never forget who she was now. Because courage doesn't roar, it whispers, and the world eventually learns to listen. And as she walked across that field, sunlight catching the dust in the air, she remembered the moment she hit the ground on day one, and how far she had risen since then. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below, subscribe for more powerful stories, and stay with us. Your presence here means more than you know.